the consolidation of public finances, which is now well on track. Jean-Claude.
On your question on the intervention, I would say the decision we made public yesterday at 3 o'clock Central European time and at the other time in all over the globe, I think it was a demonstration, a clear demonstration of our very close cooperation at a global level. And as I said, the unity of purpose that characterizes the central banks all over the world. Let me say that our permanent message is, of course, to be ahead of the curve, as you said, and all what I heard goes in this direction. But the problem are not words. The problem are deeds, of course. And all what has been said by Jean-Claude and by Oli being implemented in time according to the time schedule that has been reminded. And of course, it goes for all what we are doing. I mean, what we should do is implement strictly, fully, timely all what has been decided. Stand ready, be alert, because we are in a demanding period. But all what I heard was going in the right direction.
Ed Conway from Sky News. Can you just expand a little bit more on what Secretary Geithner was talking to you about? Did he propose something along the lines of the TALF, an equivalent that might work in the Eurozone? And also, can you provide some more clarification on whether there is going to be an expansion in the size of the EFSF, please?
I don't think it would be wise for me to report from an informal meeting we have with the US Secretary. Different points were mentioned. This was not a decision-taking meeting we had with Tim. It was a dialogue amongst friends, continuing the one we had in Marseille and preparing the one we will have the other day on a different continent. We are not discussing the increase or the expansion of EFSF with a non-member of the euro area. Yes.
Thank you. Jan Nijarek, TVN, CNBC. I would like to ask a question to President Trichet. You've recently mentioned the problem of so-called shadow banking. What do you mean actually by shadow banking? If that's the problem, how big is that in terms of billions of euros or the percentage of the whole banking systems? And how are we going to regulate it? And the second, if I may just ask Mr. Rehn, the Commission is in favor of Eurobonds. German authorities and many others are against Eurobonds. Are we going to discuss and convince them about Eurobonds? Thank you.
On your first question, let me only say that it is work in progress at the global level, as you know. The shadow banking, or the non-banks in general, are one of the very important issues that are examined at the level of the FSB, the Financial Stability Board, and a lot of work is being done. As you know, we concentrated very much on the banks, and we did a lot of hard work in the Basel III agreement to work out the appropriate new rules, in particular on capital requirements for the banks. We have also the sentiment that we should look very, very carefully at the oversight and at the appropriate transparency in the non-bank area. It's been said by a number of my colleagues, including by the chief of the FSA, and I have to say I heard a lot of voices also in the United States of America on that. So it's a global issue, and I think myself that we have to be very, very attentive to this particular element from the standpoint of systemic stability of the global financial system. it is an issue which is a permanent issue, and again, that we consider at the level of the international community as deserving attention, and a report will be made by the FSB on this particular point.
Concerning your question related to Eurobonds, the first step in this regard will be a feasibility study which the Commission will present in the course of this autumn. In this study or analytical report, we will assess alternatives for Eurobonds, and we will also dig deep into the economic and legal issues related to any possible introduction of Eurobonds. For me, a necessary condition of any possible introduction of Eurobonds is a further reinforcement of economic governance in Europe, implying sustainability of public finances and sustainability of economic growth models in Europe. Otherwise, Eurobonds would just turn into junk bonds, and that would not benefit anybody. As regards the German position, it's better that I let the German government to speak for itself.
A last question, because we are hosted by the Polish government, and the Polish finance minister has invited us for lunch, and the lunch started half an hour ago, so we have to leave. Please, madam.
A question on Greece. Can you tell us which countries have officially asked for collaterals apart from Finland? What type of collaterals are being discussed right now? And the second question is about the Greek loan. When do you expect it to actually be given to the Greek government? Has there been any progress on the rectification of the EFSF agreement of July 1st? Will there be a fast and rapid rectification?
Concerning collateral, I refer to what Jean-Claude Juncker said previously, and I have nothing to add. It is a work in progress, and I trust that we can soon get this issue out of the agenda and move forward. Concerning the Greek loan and concerning the process as regards negotiations with the Greek authorities, as was said by Jean-Claude Trichet, our fiscal experts have been on the ground since Tuesday this week, and we are shortly sending back our mission chiefs so that we will be prepared to work fully in order to conclude the review on the condition that Greece will meet all the conditions. And the conclusion of the review indeed is only dependent on the political will and ability of the Greek government and parliament to meet the fiscal targets and other conditions that are related to the sixth disbursement. In case the necessary prior actions are decided, and in case the conditions will be met, then technically we have all the chances of taking the decisions in the first part of October, so as to disburse before the mid-October for Greece. But really, on the condition that Greece meets all the fiscal and other conditions, and now the ball is in the Greek court.
Enjoy your meal.